mention of the Cherry Crest Farm field trips. My daughter was at the field trip today. I saw the pictures. It looked like she had a great time. I can't wait to hear more about it. But my comment tonight is about one of the concerns I raised about earlier this year about gender ideology back in February. My comment focuses on the recent gender training at Fernhill Elementary back in August. I object to this training and request that it not be implemented again. I have several reasons for my request. First, being the trainer. This trainer has a Twitter page, and she is a self-described radical activist. This district should not be hiring radical activists. Number two, the books in the training. I find them to be very controversial and inappropriate. One of them, I Am Jazz, promotes the idea that a young male who knows nothing about the world, likely believes in the tooth fairy, can somehow know that he has a girl's brain simply because he prefers long hair and playing with dolls. Calvin, another book in that training, is more of the same, but in reverse. In my opinion, these books are inappropriate, unnecessary, and have manipulative messaging. I don't want my daughters exposed to this. More broadly, another reason is the concepts promoted in the training: gender identity, expression, non-binary, queer, pronoun selection, the gender bear where X marks the spot of the genitalia, all with the stated goal of, quote, challenging gender limits. And these concepts to be unpopular, instill confusion, again, they're controversial and unwanted. We know they're unpopular because the Pennsylvania Department of Education has a website promoting these policies until recently. They scrubbed this website about a week, maybe a week or two ago. I sent you that link, Dr. Sokolowski. And it just coincides with the coming of the election in a few weeks. If the district is hiding its promotion of this ideology before an election, this district should not be training its teachers. We know these concepts instill mass confusion. They undermine the language by which we all communicate by destroying the meaning of words. Pronouns like they are no longer plural, rendering the word they meaningless. Those who say there are more than two genders cannot tell you how many there are, rendering the word gender meaningless. Those who say that a male can be a woman cannot define what a woman truly is, making the word woman meaningless. We know these concepts are controversial. Their mass promotion coincides with the rise of the multi-billion-dollar gender-affirming care industry, which you heard about earlier tonight, that encourages chemical castration and surgical mutilation. This is no longer about tolerance and being inclusive. Rather, it's about celebration and recruitment in order to sustain this injury, at least in part. Finally, we know these concepts are unwanted in elementary schools, and I know that because I don't want them, and I know I'm not alone. I want my children to learn academics. I don't want them, I did not send them to school to test gender limits. So please, keep this training, keep this ideology out of our schools. Thank you.